square 15, the King's Palace Part 2, there is a section at the bottom of the square where there is some Swiss darning. This needs to be done once the square has been knitted and preferably after it has been blocked and pressed. I'm going to demonstrate the Swiss darning on a blank piece of knitting which is cream, so that it's easier for you to see where the needle is going into the work. I'm going to follow the chart on page 11 of the mail out. For this you're going to need topaz yarn and a long enough length to complete the whole of that Swiss darning in one go, and a blunt ended needle. If you're right-handed, you're probably better off beginning on the right-hand side of the chart with stitch number 3 on row 9. However, if you are left-handed, it's probably easier to start at the opposite end of the chart, which is stitch 43, also on row 9. I'm going to start on the right-hand side of the work, but I will show you the slight difference in the Swiss darning if you start at the opposite end. It's first of all important to understand the shape of a knitted stitch. You need to have the knitted square in front of you with the cast on towards you and the cast off top away from you at the top of the work. This means the fabric is the correct way up, so we can now look at the shape of a knitted stitch, which is an open V. What we're going to do, we're going to take the yarn around the shape and follow the shape of each stitch as we Swiss darn to cover it. So first of all, you must locate the very first stitch by looking at the chart and at your knitting and making sure you get your starting point right. And then we begin. I'm going to start by Swiss darning this stitch here. So I take my needle in to the back of the work at the base of the stitch. Gently pull the yarn through, leaving a short tail that could be darned in later. Then I take my needle across the middle of the stitch above. Draw the yarn through. Then I complete this first stitch by taking the needle back down through the work from top to bottom into the same gap that the needle came up through the work to begin Swiss darning this stitch. That's one stitch completed. So I move on to the next one, which is 2 stitches up and 1 to the left. So here's the base of the stitch. So I bring my needle in from behind, through at the base of the stitch, across the middle of the stitch above, and then carefully back down through the base, being very careful not to split the yarn or the stitch itself. That's why we use a nice blunt needle to do this. Again, the next stitch, up 2 and 1 to the left, in at the base, across the middle of the stitch above, back down through the base. When I've Swiss darned 6 stitches, I've then got to come back down for the second leg of this first part of the zigzag. So it's counting down 2 stitches and 1 to the left again. So this is the stitch, and again it's needle in at the base, same as before, across the middle of the stitch, and back down through the base. If you are starting on the left hand side of the work instead, and Swiss darning from left to right, then you would do this. But instead of taking the needle from right to left, from left to right, like so. And that's the only difference. You would draw the yarn through and you would come back down through the base as before. As you can see, the stitch looks the same as all the others.